The United States over recent years has garnered a reputation of a secretive nature in regards to how it operates. Backroom deals, shady business practices, and clandestine operations, sometimes on its own people. Despite many strides in the way of government transparency, the concept of an open government introduced by the Founding Fathers has always been a back-and-forth battle. However, today we are able to view many documents and files from federal and local governments. One such thing is police body cam footage. The idea of the people being able to look into what their government is doing predates the United States itself. Founding Father James Madison is considered the father of the Freedom of Information Act, or FOIA, as he believed in a free and open government. He once wrote, "A popular government without popular information or the means of acquiring it is but a prologue to a farce or a tragedy, or perhaps both." The first state to adopt the concept of the people being able to request records of its government was Nebraska in 1866, which proposed the basic language into law. Each state has since created their own version over the decades, with many different variations in timeframes to type of records. The federal version of the act started during the Cold War when Democrat Congressman John Moss of California had a growing concern for the secrecy surrounding the government's actions with Russia. He then fought for 12 years to have the act passed in Congress. Almost every federal agency, even the Migratory Bird Conservation Commission, testified against it, most stating the entire government would be crippled if they were not allowed to operate in secret when they saw fit. Moss called panels of newspaper reporters, editors, educators, and scientists who all supported the idea of a more open government while also conducting investigations into unjustified cases of withholding information, receiving wide press coverage. When Democrats won the White House, Moss assumed that passing the FOIA legislation would proceed more smoothly. However, President Lyndon B. Johnson didn't particularly like the concept of a public right to government information. So, Moss enlisted the help of Republican Congressman Donald H. Rumsfeld of Illinois, who gathered Republican support for the act. This, plus other political factors, forced President Johnson to reluctantly sign the act in 1966. Fast forward to 1974. The Watergate scandal revealed that agencies were still trying to get around showing the public requested documents by charging extremely high prices for documents. Despite being originally vetoed by President Gerald Ford, an amendment for penalties, timeframes, and fee waivers was introduced and passed by Congress. In 1986, Attorney General Edwin Meese added a memorandum to the Anti-Drug Abuse Act, which would allow agencies to deny the existence of any record they didn't want to provide. This was reversed in 1993. It was amended for a third time by President Clinton to include electronic documents as it entered the digital age. The Supreme Court has stated that the Freedom of Information Act defines a structural necessity in a real democracy. Because of the groundwork laid out in these public record laws, it allows for the people to request any document or file created or held by the government, especially local governments. This includes law enforcement, with little exemptions. In December 2014, after the killing of Michael Brown, President Obama pushed for a body-worn camera program for $236 million. This was later approved, with many cities gaining grants to pay for body cams and storage of footage. The first state to widely adopt body cams for their officers was Illinois in the Law Enforcement Officer-Worn Body Camera Act in 2016. The Chicago Police Department, as well as the mayor of the city, Rahm Emanuel, were very local about their plan to have their officers wear body-worn cameras by the end of 2017. The goal was to improve public trust in the law, expand transparency, and halt the climbing number of homicides. This was a coordinated effort to show when the relationship between civilians and police was deteriorating. However, there was pushback from many police unions for multiple reasons, including safety, privacy, and Fourth Amendment concerns. but the biggest was cost. The Los Angeles Police Department acquired 7,000 cameras in 2016 for $57.6 million. It cost the New York Police Department nearly $31 million to equip their officers. However, advocates countered that it would save the department's money in the long run, halting many civil excessive force lawsuits and streamlined guilty pleas, taking a weight off an overburdened court system. In an age of police violence, especially among minority communities, this is seen as a big win for a more transparent government. In 1829, Sir Robert Peel, who is seen as the father of modern policing, developed what came to be known as the 9 Principles of Law Enforcement, which were given to British officers as general instructions of how to conduct themselves. Peel's second principle stated, "The ability of the police to perform their duties is dependent upon public approval of police existence, actions, behavior, and the ability of the police to secure and maintain public respect." In 2014, researchers at Arizona State University found that officers with body-worn cameras were more productive in terms of making arrests, had fewer complaints, and had higher numbers of citizen complaints resolved in their favor. Another study conducted with the Rialto Police Department in California noted a 60% decline in the use of force by police and an 88% drop in citizen complaints against officers. However, the success of body cams depends on the department using them. A department may choose to delay the release due to an ongoing investigation, or an officer can never turn it on, disregarding the transparency and accountability that it set out to solve.
The CBS2 investigators wanted to know if CPD's body camera program is really working, so we requested all of the investigatory stop data since 2018 and discovered a total of 345,000 stops were made, but we'll never see what really happened during thousands of those stops because we found officers routinely fail to activate their body cams. Some cops were never even issued body cams. According to CPD data, the grand total where no body cam video exists adds up to 62,000 stops.
The most significant camera that you will see is by Axon, either its body-worn camera or its glasses-mounted camera. Both Axon cameras have 8 gigabytes of storage and a battery life of about 14 hours. They capture a wide field of view through a 130-degree fisheye lens, though the resolution is just 640 by 480 due to file size constraints. An officer can generate 2 gigabytes of data per day, all of which must be stored somewhere for evidence or for public record access. Some departments choose to use the same vendor using axonsevidence.com for data management. In 2017, they claimed to have nearly 5.2 petabytes of data stored on their servers. To help sift through it all, they formed Axon AI, offering a suite of tools for menial tasks. Using Microsoft Azure OpenAI, it will transcribe and create a summary of what occurred in the footage captured, reducing report writing time by up to 82%. Other tools will allow for object detection like vehicles or weapons, actions such as traffic stops or foot chases, and location identification, while also redacting personal info, private residences, or blurring faces and gory content. However, this type of technology is not without criticism from ethic committees, subject matter experts, and privacy advocates in regards to ethical use of AI. Concerns over facial recognition and privacy violations have continuously been brought up, as well as the ACLU citing possible issues with Draft 1, warning of potential biases, inaccuracies, and lack of transparency in AI models, which could lead to unreliable or discriminatory outcomes in legal documentation, or even AI weaponizing. Although Axon established an ethics board to address concerns surrounding AI, critics argued they have not adhered to standards, especially after the Uvalde Elementary School shooting. This led to a majority of their ethics board resigning due to a company's disregard for their recommendations on controversial technologies like weaponized drones. Following this, Axon bought a military drone maker, and in a shareholder proposal stated, Axon proposed using AI surveillance, algorithmic predictors, and virtual reality simulations to stop mass shootings. In 2020, 79% of police officers nationwide reported working in departments with body-worn cameras. This number is only increasing as federal agencies are following suit, such as Customs and Border Protection, the U.S. Marshals Service, and the National Park Service since 2019. With so many officers wearing body cams, almost every police interaction is caught on camera. This has led to a rise in police body cam YouTube channels who post these interactions for the public. One of the largest is Police Activity, a channel that has garnered over 6 million subscribers and posts police incidents from all across the country. The videos are mostly unedited, and the description always contains a detailed police report. They are considered an outstanding channel due to the raw, unbiased look into incidents officers must deal with on a regular basis. However, due to the nature of the footage, it is sometimes age-restricted because of the officer-involved shootings often depicted. Another channel is Midwest Safety, with almost 2 million subscribers hosted by several people. Their videos sometimes contain an ending commentary from Officer John, a retired Philadelphia police officer with over 25 years of experience, who gives his insight into the incidents that took place over the course of the footage, bringing a professional perspective. Another is Donut Operator, with over 5 million subscribers, hosted by Cody Garrett, a former U.S. Navyman and Spartanburg police officer. He gives humorous and critical commentary on body cam footage of both everyday and high-profile incidents. Other channels sometimes focus on particular cities or states, like Code Blue Cam, with almost 3 million subscribers, who post videos from Wisconsin police departments. Their channel is considered more lighthearted than others, given the videos mostly consist of strange encounters with weird people or stuff akin to public freakouts or drunk and disorderlies. Some officers are even aware of the channel.
What was that lady yelling?
Next Code Blue Cam episode.
Oh.
And I said, probably not.
What do I do with this?
I'm probably wrong, and then I'm going to get coded on it.
Some channels focus on a particular department, like Scooper, with almost 200,000 subscribers who post Florida highway patrol pursuits. While most of these channels post these videos to show insight into how police procedure works from various perspectives, departments, and states, some feel that these videos are being treated as content. A debate has been raised about the ethics of posting such videos for entertainment, especially when it involves sensitive incidents like shootings or arrests. Some take it as far as to monetize and clickbait these incidents, like Bodycam Detective or Catching Killers, who use AI-generated or heavily edited thumbnails of both real and fake incidents for views. Some even take it a step further by creating entirely AI-run channels. The videos themselves may not be AI-generated, but everything behind the scenes is run by AI to create ad revenue for the channel's owner, with some claiming to make more than $300,000 a year. Sometimes certain people will pop up a few times, some of which officers themselves know on a first-name basis. One such character is Jeremy DeWitt, a Central Florida serial police impersonator and convicted sex offender. He was the owner-operator of Metro State Vehicle Protection Services, which ran escorts for funeral processions. His company portrayed themselves in a similar fashion to police by taking photos with actual police cars and even showing up to accidents to take photos. They even wear badges that are a copy of the LAPD badge, all of which is portrayed on DeWitt and Company's own body cams. Videos show him pulling people over, acting aggressively, and directing traffic outside of any authority to do so. His police career started at 18 when he impersonated an officer at a gas station, when he claimed to have left his state-issued gas pump card at home. He then gave his real home address, phone number, date of birth, and driver's license number, and said he would return. He never did. During the arrest, the police found he had a police-style Dodge Shadow filled with guns and an Oviedo, Florida Police Explorer's badge. Once former Orlando Police Chief John Mina took over as sheriff, DeWitt saw more arrests for police impersonation as evidence shown in his interrogations were of his own body cam footage, in which he claimed it wasn't him. His business has had even more problems. His paperwork has different variations of his name or is filed under people who know him. he expanded the business to include a tow truck fleet and private ambulances, which he cannot legally do being a convicted felon. And he was recently charged with insurance fraud for filing company vehicles as private under his wife's name. Then he was convicted of lewd behavior with a 15-year-old, in which it is alleged he was living with her for months and also having a relationship with her mother. Then it is alleged he confirmed those details with a fight with another girlfriend, all of this while being married. In 2021, he appeared on Dr. Phil to gain credibility, but it did not go as planned.
Law enforcement is accusing myself and my contractors of impersonating law enforcement. Nothing could be further from the truth.
He has also attempted to say he was in the military at the Second Battle of Fallujah. However, court records show he was in prison at the time. On the reverse side of bodycam footage is the First Amendment auditor. These are individuals who engage in a form of activism and citizen journalism that involves filming or taking photos in public spaces, usually government buildings. The goal is to test whether government employees and officials respect the auditor's First Amendment rights to enter and film in public spaces. While proponents argue that audits promote transparency and open governments, critics view some tactics as confrontational, intimidating, or harassing.
Come on! Here, hold this. Come on, come arrest me. Staring at me like you're gonna do something.
Varying degrees of issues can arise from this, as many have tried to monetize their attempts or may be purposely looking for a fight with police. Most claim they are doing it to inform citizens of their rights or to expose police who don't know what the First Amendment entails. However, a lot of cases have gotten aggressive for viewership's sake, as competition among auditors is also high. The more intense or crazy the video, the better viewership. But not all auditors are looking for a fight or to cause a problem. Audit the Audit, which has garnered nearly 3 million subscribers, does breakdowns of auditors' videos and bodycam footage alike of highly publicized cases, explaining the laws that may apply and ranking the people involved in their knowledge and handling of the situations. Another channel is Lackluster, with 1.5 million subscribers, run by a veteran and former Los Angeles Fire Department paramedic. They focus more on police interactions and legal analysis of situations caught on bodycam or recordings mostly showcasing police misconduct. Many other countries have implemented bodycams for officers, such as Australia, Brazil, Singapore, most European countries, Pakistan, Russia, and even became mandatory equipment for all police agencies in China in 2015. While mostly prevalent in the United States starting in the 2010s, the bodycam for policing got its start in Denmark in the 2000s, with the United Kingdom following suit with test groups. The most famous test groups were in 2005 with the Devon and Cornwall police departments, which then led to widespread national use in the coming years. However, many countries do not consider footage captured by bodycams a matter of public record, or is heavily controlled. In Germany, it is limited to court cases or internal police investigations, and public access is rare unless authorized by a court. In the United Kingdom, it is up to the agency's discretion and will feature heavy redaction due to the strict privacy laws. In Singapore, the footage is tightly controlled and will not be released unless for court or to be viewed by authorized personnel. While many countries have Freedom of Information Acts, the United States stands out in its approach to police bodycam footage, treating it as public record in many states. This policy reflects a commitment to transparency that some might find surprising for a government. Privacy, however, varies by state, with differing laws on what is considered personally identifiable information. In contrast, many nations enacted privacy laws long before bodycams were introduced, leading to stricter constraints on public access to such records. On October 15, 2019, the UN General Assembly officially designated September 28 as International Day for Universal Access to Information, underscoring the global importance of transparency and the right to know.